Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is James Kennedy. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Procurement Express, and I am honored to be joined today by our partners, PEX. On the PEX side, we have Court and Rhett, who are going to be running through a new integration that we've come together to collaborate over to help better serve our customers. I've also got Robert here, who has done a lot of work on this deck. So thanks, Rob, for helping me with the deck, and Christoph, who has helped me with the technical side of the demo. The aim of this presentation is to explain to you how you can save time and improve the security of your operation using one-time cards and PEX cards from PEX and Procurement Express. I'm going to run through how it works from the Procurement Express side, and then I'm going to hand over to Rhett, who's going to give us some more information on their product and the other benefits it has. So with that in mind, let's get started. So if you need an introduction to Procurement Express, we are a purchase order management solution. What we do is we help your company more safely spend the money that they have worked hard to earn. We have just under 300 customers around the world, actually, and we help them to securely spend billions of dollars a year by making sure that every purchase has been properly approved. It's got the correct accounting codes on it. It makes sure that you receive everything you ordered. It makes sure that you're paying only for what you ordered, and actually dozens of others common procurement errors which can slip into your process if you are trying to manage your purchasing or company purchasing with a spreadsheet and email. What makes us unique is that we are the most highly rated solution of our kind in the marketplace. So we have an order of magnitude more and better reviews than our competitors, which means that when you choose Procurement Express, you can be sure that you're getting the best solution for you and your company. So that brings us on to the integration that we're talking about here today, and what we're calling one-time cards powered by PEX Card. And the presentation is going to explain to you what exactly they are. But before I get into that, let's think about for a second why you might want to consider using one-time cards for your purchasing over regular company debit cards or even credit cards. There's two main reasons. One is it makes it much safer and more secure to share card information, or not share it rather, and I'll get into that in a second. The other main driver is that it drastically reduces the amount of time you need to reconcile purchases that come in. So if you work in a finance team, you might be familiar with having to reconcile card statements that come in electronically with the original orders, match them up against the budgets and the cost codes and GL codes, etc., so that they can be marked off successfully. It's a big time sink for items which might only be a couple of bucks in value, but it can take a lot more time and staff time, a lot more cost and staff time to reconcile those. So within Procurement Express now, all of that time is eviscerated and it's done completely automatically. I'm going to show you how that works. But before I do, let's talk about something that we have to be aware of, which is secure spending of company funds. Often very important where you have organizations, maybe a charitable organization where reputation is very important, or just any private enterprise where you want to make sure that you are not putting you or your staff at risk. So what do I say when I mean that? Well, embezzlement and fraud is a risk that we all have to guard against, and we have a responsibility to do so as corporate officers in often cases. And this is the fraud triangle. So what's the fraud triangle? Fraud triangle is basically the three things that need to be in place for embezzlement and fraud to take place. You need people to have motivation to perpetrate the embezzlement or fraud. They need to have some rationalization, and they need to have opportunity. Now, oftentimes, the motivation might be an event in someone's life. They may have a personal emergency. They may need funds for whatever reason. That provides a rationalization for them. But if they don't have an opportunity, then they can't make a mistake. And oftentimes, if you have staff who have unfortunately been tempted for whatever reasons, outside pressures, etc., it means that you may lose a staff member where there could be an opportunity to avoid that. And losing staff member oftentimes might be the biggest cost. It might be only a small issue when it comes to embezzlement, but the cost of replacing that staff member, et cetera, is much bigger at the end of the day. So what our product here will do is it will make sure that it eradicates a lot of the opportunity for misuse of company spends. So how does it do that? Well, what we have integrated and what I'm going to show to you here today is how that you can issue single-use cards, which can only be used for a particular amount for a particular, excuse me, that's my phone going off. Should have webinar 101, turn off your phone. Sorry about that, guys. So you can have a single-use card, like I said, that is issued directly to the person who needs to spend the funds and not to anyone else. And what this does is it means make sure that only the correct person has access to the amount of money that needs to be spent with the correct vendor. But more importantly, no one else has access to that card. So it eradicates the opportunity for the card having to be shared among staff, which oftentimes is against the terms of your card provider. Also, and then on the back end, you're going to see how all of these spend is automatically reconciled without having to go through the manual reconciliation process. So I'm going to dive into a bit of a demo here on the product itself. So you can see if you are a Procurement Express customer, you'll be familiar with this with the UI itself here. And I'm going to run through a sample that's something maybe we're all familiar with, which is, of course, shopping on Amazon. So especially right now, a lot of people in COVID, whereas previously you might have got your IT department to order a computer for you. Now that IT department isn't necessarily around. So instead, you might be asked to go and purchase items like that for yourself. So you go to Amazon.com in our example here. I've actually loaded in here it was a Dell computer. So a Dell computer, I'm going to add that into my cart. And now I want to add it to my cart and I want to actually go and buy it and have it delivered. But there's a problem. I don't want to have to share the card details. Ordinarily, you might have your finance team have to share those card details with me, which I may not have authority for. And this is where Procurement Express and PEX Card comes in. So in order to purchase something, I can go into Procurement Express. I can raise my request for my Dell laptop here, etc., with all the details I need, and I can send it off for approval. And if you're familiar with Procurement Express, this system here will decide whether I have authority to do that myself or I need to get authority from a third party, etc. And normally, this is where I've got my approval. It's been approved straight away because I've got the authority to buy using this budget. Normally, I might have to go and ask for the company card from someone. What we're going to do in this case is we're going to request a one-time virtual card from PEX Card, and their system is going to generate a card that we can use then to go and directly put into Amazon or any other online vendor and complete the purchase. Now, the card you see here is a one-time card. No one else has access to it. I can easily copy it to my clipboard here. And then I can go ahead on into Amazon, enter those card details, and complete the purchase. So when the purchase is completed, you'll see that automatically all of the reconciliation happens in the background. So when a purchase is completed, you'll see that the payments that are pushed against that card appear here. And in a few seconds, when the card is charged, you'll see that the status of the purchase order goes from approved to paid. And when you export your card or your payment detail in our report section, you'll automatically have a reference to the reconciliation on the charge. So there's no need for you to do this manually, which is a huge, huge time saver. Then in the one-time card section here, we have a review of all the outstanding cards that you have available at the moment, whether they've been redeemed or not, and you can actually manage those cards within the PEX Card system. So that's an introduction to the integration between Procurement Express and PEX Card. I'd like to hand over now to Rhett, who's the head of sales, I understand, Rhett. at PEX Card, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the benefits of using debit cards and one-time cards.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, James. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We are obviously extremely excited about the opportunity to partner up with Procurement Express and their robust procurement software by providing these virtual cards, and as well as supporting bank accounts for the purchases that are approved within the various nonprofits, contractors, and government agencies. So I'm just going to walk the group through here at a high-level introduction of who PEX is. Court Lawrence will also be doing the demo when we get through that. But so if you may or may not have heard of us, but PEX is a fintech company based in New York, actually based in Manhattan. We were founded in 2007 by our CEO and founder, Topher Grant. We have roughly about 65 employees and growing this year. And we have 2 banking relationships existing today. So the Bancorp Bank, which is one of the largest issuers of corporate prepaid debit cards, as well as Fifth Third Bank, are the banks that we partner with and issue these cards. You know, our founder and CEO, Topher Grant, set out with an idea of providing payment controls, just like James had mentioned earlier, to both SMBs and enterprise level organizations. And so what we do is we take the powers and the controls that Visa offers, as well as the data, and provide that to our customers and our clients. So this specific partnership is basically utilizing our full stack of payment processing on the virtual card platform, which is going to make a seamless transaction flow between your corporate checking account and then your reconciliation within Procurement Express. We work with various government entities, local nonprofits, and a lot of people will ask, you know, outside of just what is a virtual card, but what is a corporate prepaid debit card? You know, a prepaid business debit card is different than your regular debit card. So organizations may have a corporate bank account with debit cards floating around, maybe within their finance department, maybe with their directors and VP levels. The difference between a corporate prepaid card and just a debit card tied to that bank account is we can give specific amounts tied to those cards for added security and insurance that the transactions that are being approved by the financial management based on their policies is the only amount that is being spent. This makes cash management within nonprofits, government space, contractor space much more easier and limits the amount of risk that an organization has by having floating card numbers or multiple transactions pulling from a single balance. So as we move on to the next slide, I just want to share some of the facts that we've learned throughout this space, right? So we are one of the industry leaders in corporate prepaid debit cards. You know, we're processing upwards of $3 billion annually, all through card transactions, both physical and virtual card. And amongst our 7,000, 8,000 clients, you know, a couple common characteristics have continued to pop up, which has basically driven our product roadmap as well as our partnership strategy specific to Procurement Express. You know, when we survey our clients, as you can see, check replacement, automation, and streamlining those processes is extremely important. And so what we've done is we've utilized a suite of APIs and webhooks to link up with our partners, such as Procurement Express, to make those instant payments both secure and easy when it comes to end-of-month reconciliation. So if an organization wants to reconcile daily or weekly, we are plugged directly into that Visa network to provide that instant data as soon as that transaction settles, versus a typical credit card where you're going to have to wait for that that statement to close. So all of the features and functionality that we build within our partnerships, as well as within our dashboard/platform, is built with this in mind. So moving forward, organizations that have found value in us are very much notable, right? So we tap into various parts of spend, whether that is purchasing spend, whether that is employee expense spend, whether that is nonprofit grant distribution. All of these organizations and many, many more have found value within the PEX platform, or linking up our technology to an existing accounting solution or Procurement Express's purchasing solution. So real quick, we're going to transition over to Court Lawrence, who is one of our customer success managers on our key accounts, to show you guys an intro to the platform and some of the key functionality that you guys will find value as you're launching the integration between PEX and Procurement Express.
Thank you very much, James and Red, who shared a lot, of course, between procurement and PEX platform. As a customer success manager, I'm in place to aid the business relationship between yourself and PEX. One of many ways to do that is to provide you with, full knowledge of our platform so that you can take full advantage of our products and services. From my demo today, I hope to drive, manage, and sustain a successful business relationship. So at this moment, I will be sharing my screen and then get to that demo platform. Can my team confirm that they can see my PEX program grant virtual platform?
Sure can, Court.
All right, good. Thank you, guys. So as I did say, this is our demo platform. It's basically an testing environment designed to show the basic functionality. And of course, I can pretty much get in depth, but I feel like that will not be needed at the moment, but just to show you the basic of what you'll need to do and how to manage your PEX account. How does it work? Pretty much. So James did mention that once you've provided your information to Procurement Express, it will then naturally create a virtual card for yourself. So it will pretty much complete most of that for you, again, by creating the card itself. Once the card is created, then when you log into your PEX platform, you will see that card information. As you can see, I'm on the cards tab. But before I get to the cards tab, I want to start with the dashboard tab itself. These are some key information that you'll need to know. The dashboard tab pretty much breaks down the financial structure of your PEX platform. Again, this is your virtual platform. To the top left corner, it states $60,000 and $78.88. That is the amount of funds that you have available in your PEX holding account that is ready to be used. To the right of that, you'll see the same figure amount. Of course, to the extreme right, it says open cards 8. Well, I imagine that you may not see this number for open cards because as soon as your card is used, then of course that card will be closed. But just underneath that, if you're wondering, available card funds, this is stating that there's $2,200 that are available on all 8 cards at the same time. Again, this may not relate to you because you will possibly, when your cards are used, then of course it will be terminated. So let's get into the other tab, which is the transactions tab. On the transactions tab, then we will talk about funding your PEX card account. But the transactions tab here, it shows the transaction that takes place between your PEX account and your cards, not the transactions that are done on the cards. So as you can see, here it states Court Lawrence test. This is one of the cards that we have on the platform. It gives real date and time and how much money that was funded to that card. So if I should actually pull money from the card right now, that will also be a timestamp here that you can see. So the funds that are added or pulled away from your cards will be listed underneath the transactions tab. Let me get rid of this section here. Now, when I get into make a transfer, you'll have 3 opportunities to fund your PEX account. And I just want to clearly say that to fund your PEX account, this has to be done from a US-based bank account. The fastest way to fund your PEX account, which is a wire, I'm going to get in that for you, by clicking the wire instructions. On your platform, when you do select the wire instructions, you will have all the information here that you need to provide to your bank for your bank to submit the wire to us. Now, a couple of key things to know when you're submitting a wire. The funds must be sourced from your business bank account that is registered. It can't be sourced from any other bank account or a personalized bank account. If this does happen, PEX will consider that your wire is a third-party funding, and we could possibly reject this wire. In instances where you've gone to the bank to submit a wire to us, we find that the bank sometimes inadvertently would put your personalized name as the sender name on that wire notification. If that does happen, we will see that as a red flag to say that the funds here are coming from your personalized bank account. If this is in fact funds that were sourced from your business bank account, your bank can send us an email to confirm that this was an error made on their part. Of course, the funds were sourced from the business bank account. Therefore, we can then accept the wire. If not, then we will then reject the wire and send it back. If it has a separate business name as the sender's name, again, we'll consider this third-party funding. If this business name is a business doing business as, we can accept the wire. If you do, go ahead and provide us with DBA documents. With your wires, it can fund your PEX account within the same day, within the same hour. It all depends on how fast your bank operates. PEX does not charge a fee to process whether your wire, ACH push, or make a transfer, but your bank may charge you a fee depending on the relationship. Now, the second fastest way to fund your account is ACH instructions. This is where your bank will push the money to us. I usually consider this like the form of a bill pay. So if you want to get this done, simply click on this particular tab, ACH instructions. You'll have the ABA number and the account number here. All information are here that you can provide to your bank, or if your bank does allow you to do this on their platform, you could copy the information here. Now, one thing that I want to share with you, I do find this happen quite often with admins. They would inadvertently copy the information from the ACH instructions. The ABA number and the account numbers is completely different from the wire instruction number. So if you happen to pull the information from the ABA, from the ACH instructions and include that on the wire tab, we will never receive your money. Vice versa, if you copy the details from the wire tab and then include it on the ACH instructions tab, PEX will never receive your funds. We will not be able to push your money back to you. Your bank will not be able to pull your funds, but naturally within the following business day, the money will go back into your bank account. So if you're going to be sending a wire or ACH, please be careful. Just review the information, make sure that you're copying the correct information. With the ACH instructions, PEX do receive funds twice per day. We do receive at 7:30 a.m. or let's say between 12:30 and 1 p.m. noon. So if your money is not in your bank account by 7:30 a.m. the following business day, we can be positively sure that it will be there between 12:30 and 1 p.m. The third option to fund your account is make a transfer. This is where you'll link an external business bank account to your PEX platform. Now, once you click on this tab that says make a transfer, you will have the opportunity to click on a tab that says download a form. I'm going to go to another tab to obtain that form for you guys. So this is the tab that you'll see when you do click on make a transfer. It says add an external account. This is if you want to link an external, your business bank account to your PEX platform. You could log into the PEX platform and then initiate to pull funds from your external bank account to replenish your PEX account. You'll click to download the form. And once the form is downloaded, you'll have this piece of information. You'll then need to include your business bank name here. Please do not make the mistake to include your personalized name. This has to be the business name. And then you'd include a blank voided business check. If you do not have a check, it's completely fine. You could still submit the form to us. Underneath, you'll need to include a handwritten signature, the date, business account number, the bank routing number, bank account name, contact phone number, and of course, branch address. If you do not have a direct relationship or have a name for someone at the bank, you could simply put bank manager. That's completely fine. And once you've completed the form to this section here, then you could go back to the platform and upload this form here. It says upload the form. Once you've gone through this process, then the next stage will take it into giving you the opportunity to do electronic verification, 1 or 2. You can request for PEX to do the verification for you. It's very easy. to actually do the electronic verification. Once you've gone through that process, once you select that option, it will then ask you to log into your business bank account. Once you've logged into your business bank account and confirm, then PEX system will initiate mini deposits to your external bank account. And this will be done within, let's say, a day or two. And right after that, then you could initiate the transfer of funds from your external bank account to PEX. Now, I'm going to take you back to the transactions tab just to give you a quick review of what it would look like once your bank account is linked. So once your bank account is linked, you'll see your bank account name from here, of course, the bank account number. And then of course, you'll then select your business name, your PEX business name here. And then at the bottom, you'll then initiate the amount of funds that you would like to transfer. Once you click transfer, the system will then initiate to pull this amount, which is $1,000 from your external bank account to replenish your PEX account. With this option, it funds your PEX account within 3 to 4 business days, not including Saturday, Sunday, nor on bank holidays. This option is absolutely free, as I did mention before. 3 ways to fund your PEX account. PEX does not charge you to fund your account. With this option, your bank will not charge you at all to fund. But again, with this, your funds will hit your PEX account within 3 to 4 business days. Once you click a transfer, this will be like a one-time transfer. However, if you'd like for the system to repeat this for you, you can then click make this a scheduled transfer and then initiate this transfer you can then select the first of every month or any day of the week. Now, whichever your option is, this does not mean that the funds will be in your account on Tuesday. Simply means that the system will initiate the process on Tuesday. Then the date that it's initiated will be the first of either 3 or 4 business days. So let's say Tuesday is initiated, then Tuesday will be the first. Then the funds will be in your account, let's say between Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday of that week. Again, let's say if Thursday falls or Friday falls on a bank holiday, the funds will not hit, but of course will do so the following business day, which is a Monday. And those are the ways in which you can actually transfer funds to your PEX holding account. The next tab I want to get into is a cards tab. Now, I just want to say not much can be shared here because again, with the connection with Procurement Express, a lot of it will already be done for you. So I just want to quickly show you what your cards will look like when you log into your PEX platform. The funds on your card, each time your card is swiped, the funds will be pulled directly from your PEX holding account balance. So if you take a closer look to the top left corner, it says $60,078.88. Let's say Court Lawrence card that ends 7482. This is a card that was just created by Procurement Express, and it's going to be used. Now, once this card is inserted into Amazon or whatever website that you're purchasing from, the balance of that transaction will pull directly from this balance here at the top left corner. And if you could take a closer look to the right of this card, it says $0. And of course, there's not an option for a quick fund. Just to share a little bit more, we have the ability to actually fund cards. But again, that's not a functionality that you will be using. But as you're looking at this screen, you may wonder, okay, so how is it that there's $600 on that card above versus the card below? This platform, again, just a test environment. So with this, you can actually add funds to a card like the one above, one Martin. And again, with the one below, this is pretty much the functionalities that you guys will be using where, again, the funds will be pulling directly from your PEX holding account balance. Now, with this in mind, you want to be sure that you have funds available in your PEX holding account before you go out and initiate a purchase. If you happen to initiate a purchase and there's not enough funds in your PEX account, then your transaction will be declined. How do you figure out what are the reasons for my decline? You'll simply click on the cardholder name. And when you do click on the cardholder name, of course, you have different tabs: transactions tab, decline, spend rule set, statements, and so forth, all the way through profile. But I figure you're mostly going to be going to the declines tab. So then you click on declines, and then any information it is that is shared why your card is declining, it will be described here, As long as there's an issue with the card itself or the PEX platform, the description will be listed here. So again, if your card does not have enough funds or your PEX account does not have enough funds, it will state here at the bottom, insufficient funds. If there's an issue with the merchant database, let's say Amazon, which sometimes does happen, if their POS system is faulty at that present moment, we will not be able to identify the reason for the decline here because PEX system does not correlate with Amazon, so we won't get a feed as to what is happening on their end. But if the issue is with your PEX card or the PEX system itself that causes a decline, it will be listed here. Now, as a customer success manager, if you feel like you still do need to reach out to me because there's a decline and there's nothing listed there, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to look into this for you to sort things out. Because sometimes we find in an error, a user error, maybe you're actually including the incorrect billing information for the card. And if that does happen, the transaction will decline, but it will not state here what the decline reason is. So if you happen to have a decline, and of course, there's no description here, you can definitely reach out to myself and we'll be happy to look into that for you.
Great, thank you very much, Court, and thank you very much, Rhett. It was a pleasure. I have to say that we've all worked very hard on this for the last few months, and it's beautiful to see it all coming together. We're very excited to see what our customers do with this now functionality. You can reach out to me directly at james.kennedy@procurementexpress.com. Or Court, I don't know if you want to share the best way to get in touch with PEX if there's any detail, any help they need.
Yeah, so my direct email is klawrence@pexcard.com. That's klawrence@pexcard.com. Once you shoot me an email, I'll be happy to reply to you. When you get my reply, at the bottom of my email, there is a link to my calendar. Always feel free to just drop a time on my calendar. No need to ask if I'm available or not. The moment you click on my calendar, it will give you my availability, date, and time. Just drop a time there. And of course, I'll be notified via email and I'll be happy to join you guys. All right.
Super. And Rhett, thank you very much for joining us, as well as Rob and Christoph. You didn't have a chance to speak, but I appreciate your moral backup on my side. So appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Procurement Express team. Thanks, Court.
Thank you, guys.
All right. And then lastly, just thanks to Karen and the other attendees today. Really appreciate you showing up, and we'll look forward to speaking with you shortly and hopefully get you set up with the system.